I had blocked him everywhere after I found out about his affair, and I also told my friends that I didn't want to hear about him. The only thing that I had known so far was that right after I had kicked him out, he had started living with Nikki, and they had probably been living together ever since. But that did not matter to me anymore. This week, we would have celebrated our 3rd marriage anniversary together if we had stayed together, and I had been feeling quite low on the day of our anniversary. He decided to make it worse by reaching out to me through email and sending me a bunch of photos of his engagement party since he and Nikki had apparently gotten engaged recently. There was also a message along with it. I'll just paste it here. He said, "It's almost been a year since we broke up, and initially, I was really sorry that I ended up cheating on you, but now I don't feel that way anymore. I think it was destiny that brought Nikki into my life, and you were just a placeholder. I know you could not have ever been my soulmate, even if you tried because you are vindictive, mean, and heartless. I know that you were the one who turned all our friends against me by telling them that it was gross that I was dating a 23-year-old, as if that's illegal. We are in love, and I wish you could realize how wonderful of a feeling it is and how age doesn't matter when you're in love. You're closer to my age, and yet what Nikki and I share, you will never have that with anyone. Do you know why? It's because you're not worthy of it. You were the one who tried to make it look ugly when Nikki and I got together, and I will admit it was wrong of me to cheat, but the nasty ways that you chose to retaliate just make me grateful that I decided to go along with Nikki because she's the perfect woman, and you'll never be her. I thank God every day that we got a divorce, and I didn't have to end up with you. So, you might have won the divorce and gotten away with your demands, but I won at life. I'm sharing a couple of photos from our engagement party. Hopefully, you'll see this and realize what true love looks like and find it in yourself to be able to move on. Happy anniversary." This is what he sent to me along with the photos of the engagement party, and it really boiled my blood when I read that message because he kept harping on about one thing, that I had turned our friends against him by making it seem gross that he was dating a 23-year-old while being literally almost a decade older than her. Let me just make it clear, I was not the one who turned our friends against him. Sam and I had known each other since we were in college, and we did have a common circle, but I kind of drifted apart from most of my friends after college since I had to move out of state for work 6 years ago. I finally came back and started working here, and that's how I ended up reconnecting with my old friends, and that included Sam. We ended up spending more time together when I returned. He and I had a very tight-knit group of friends, and they were all very supportive of our relationship. We were all very close until he cheated, and I told our friends about it because, obviously, why would I hide it? And I never said that it was gross of him to date Nikki when she was so much younger than him, even though I do believe that it was gross. But I didn't have to say anything to our friends to make them cut him off. They made that choice for themselves. Yet, he has always believed that I was the one who forced them to pick, and I manipulated them into picking me, and he still holds a grudge against me for that. However, even more than that, he didn't like the fact that I got the divorce finalized on my terms. So, all these reasons combined, I guess he just wanted to rub it in my face that he was getting engaged to the woman that he had cheated on me with just so that I would feel bad. And, well, he had succeeded because I felt terrible, especially because of what he had said about how he had won at life and the fact that he even wished me a happy anniversary, showing off that he remembered that it was our anniversary, and he was doing this on purpose. That was simply diabolical. I was actually about to delete the email because it was so upsetting, but before I did that, something in the photos caught my eye. In the background of some of the photos, I could see a very familiar person, and when I zoomed in, I realized that it happened to be one of my very distant relatives. This person, let's call him Jonathan, isn't exactly related to me by blood, but there's still some relation there, so I could use that to my advantage. To be more precise, he is married to my mother's third cousin, and we have occasionally seen and met each other at some family get-togethers. But since they're not very closely related, my mother isn't exactly friends with them, and neither are we. I've only seen him a couple of times, but I recognized him in the background of those pictures, and I instantly sent those pictures to my mother and asked her to confirm if it was actually him. I explained the entire situation to her, and she decided to call her cousin and ask her what was going on. After the phone call, my mother and I were able to find out that Jonathan was attending that engagement party because he was about to invest in the business that Sam was starting. Sam had used his father's connections to get Jonathan on board since, apparently, my ex-father-in-law had been quite close to Jonathan's brother. Yeah, it's pretty complicated, but anyway, that's how they each knew each other, and they had been in talks for a couple of months, and Sam had invited Jonathan to the party so that they could get to know each other better before he invested in his business. I requested my mother to pass on her cousin's contact information to me because I had a lot to talk to her about.